Hello, my name is Rebecca Ajibola. I'm one of the senior improvement advisors at Aqua. Aqua is a quality improvement organization based here in Manchester and hosted by Northern Care Alliance. And we work across health and social care systems across the whole nation, really. And you can look us up on the internet to know more about what we do. I signed up for the program over a year ago, I think now, or thereabout, and we got the results sort of beginning of this year in terms of who's been accepted onto the program. And my interest in the program came about because I started to do some research around how change can be done better, or sort of implementation can be done better, and I came across the topic implementation science, and so I started to dig around it. And actually, when this program came up and there was a topic around implementation science, I thought it was a good opportunity, and so thank you for accepting me onto the program. I guess what I was looking for really was how we do implementation in a way that gives it a better chance of sustaining. And so it was interesting to find out that there is something called implementation science, and so I wanted to know more. So my ambition really was to gain understanding of implementation science and implementation practice. What does it mean? Not just the science, but actually what it means in practice. Gain some hands-on experience from being involved in the internship and being able to contribute to what's going on in the system. So really, I think the structure for the program was beneficial. Being able to do the core modules, which helped me in terms of my understanding of applied research and sort of other aspects of the topic like ethics and public involvement, literature searches and reviews and reading research papers. So all of those topics I thought were really beneficial, and it was quite fantastic to, pick up some nuggets already that I used in my desktop research, and being able to easily pull my references through into my work. It was quite challenging because I realized earlier in the program that I had two main things to be learning, not just applied research, but actually I needed to learn implementation science, which is quite a broad topic, and so that posed a challenge, and not having enough time to focus, but being able to go into the core sessions was very helpful to cover the research aspect. And then I spent majority of my time, independent time, doing research on implementation science and implementation practice, which is fantastic. And of course, from that, being able to also shadow meetings, attend conferences and symposium was really helpful to give me better grounding. And so key outputs really were sort of increased knowledge, I think, of active research, but also of implementation science, and to a large extent implementation practice. Having that real life example was fantastic, and being able to get into the domain network and being able to speak with experts, it is absolutely fantastic, and of course exposure to international work. One of the other things that I did was to sort of share my learning with my colleagues in Aqua, and we did some survey, and I think at the end of that it was useful to find out that a number of people had knowledge gap and they wanted to learn more. And so we've got Paul Wilson and Roman Kislov coming to Aqua to speak to us on the 2nd of November. I think in terms of the impact of this work, really, I'm not where I used to be in my knowledge and understanding of implementation science, implementation practice, and actually the difference between implementation science and improvement science, which was one of the big things, but actually being able to start to think about how they overlap. I think having nuggets to not only input into my practice, but also share with Aqua colleagues was helpful, and being able to trigger that internal love for research group. So we have an active research group. That's also a fantastic thing. I think being able to intentionally bring forward sort of applying or have that intentional approach to using models like Combi and theoretical domain framework is really key. Number of observations really, if there's anything to mention, I think is that focus on research and not so much on practice. And I think that's the aspect that I would like to put in a lot of effort going forward. So in order to be able to do that, I'm trying to further expand my understanding of implementation science, and so I'm doing a CPD at the University of Manchester. Thanks for the sponsorship. And also I intend to maybe do a few other programs later on to support that, and then moving to sort of sharing within my organization, being able to trigger a little bit of love for implementation science and how we can bring some of those into what we do in improvement science, exploring what that means in practice and being able to obtain more examples that we can share with wider system colleagues and hopefully be able to contribute to the body of knowledge going forward. That's it really from me. I just wanted to say a big thank you to my Aqua colleagues and to our GM colleagues, and especially to Ross and to Rebecca Elvey, who has been my supervisor. Thank you very much.